Yeah, climb it.
Thanks, Rich. Harvey in.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, that's the one I checked.
Or standby is Razorback departure. Yep. So if you want to get the weather, you go up here to COM 1, and you're listening to COM 1.
4 knots. Visibility
I think that's right, actually.
more than 10.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Condition clear.
Maybe 30.05.
Temperature 24 Celsius. Dew point 23 Celsius. Altimeter 3004 inches of
4. There you go.
Density altitude.
All right.
Yeah. And then we'll go back to BFR. We landed last night. So you want to check that before you start rolling. If you take off with 444, they'll say squawk BFR, so you go back to 1200. Yep.
All right. Transponder, we're good. Never put that on standby. You just leave it on altitude the whole time?
I leave it on altitude, yeah, but some people have it. They turn it off, and they'll turn it on standby when they start it up. That warms it up. They're used to. They had to warm up. Not anymore. You can just go right to altitude.
Flaps are up.
Okay.
Alright. Seatbelt secure. Brakes were good.
Okay.
Alright, let's move forward a little bit.
Alright.
Walker. Alright, we can do a run up here.
Yep.
Hear all those geese away.
Yeah, look at that. It's a whole flock of them. They always come down here, too. I see them all the time down here.
Alright, brakes on, seatbelt secure, fuel on both, mixture rich. Throttle 1700.
Yep. Okay, check the mags.
Right. Mag 1.
Back to both. Mag 2.
80, 40.
Back to both.
And 80, 90, 80, okay. And then
Carburetor heat. Okay, back off.
Okay.
And then cycle the propeller. Yeah. Pull it out until the very end. You notice it starts to go down, push it back in.
Okay.
You don't have to let it go very low. Yep. And then they say cycle it 2 or 3 times.
Oh, okay.
That's all right. Once is enough.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so we did throttle friction lock. That seems good.
Yep.
Flight controls, we just did that. Transponders, cowl flaps open. Radios set. And trim good. Lights. We have taxi lights on this one?
Yeah, you can use landing lights at night or when you're landing, but you don't need them to do daytime.
Okay, and that's taxi right there?
Q2 Echo Papa. Got the information ready to copy IFR to Omaha.
Alright. We'll wait for him and then we can go.
No, you can go ahead. As soon as he gets it.
Springdale Tower, good morning. You're cleared to Omaha, Epley Field via the Spring 5 departure, then direct Neosho direct. Climb and maintain 4,000. Expect flight level 34010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency will be on 126.6. Squawk 07.
Yeah, we're just going to do an eastern departure like yesterday.
Yeah, it's Omaha for 522 Echo Papa. Spring 5, then Neosho direct, 4,000 initial, 34 and 10, 26.6 on departure, 0723.
That's his squawk code.
Echo Papa.
Yep.
And November 2 Echo Papa, readback is correct.
Another fine morning. We'll be going to 18. You can call him anytime. Say you're at the T hangars, ready to taxi for Eastern departure with the weather. You know what to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Springdale Tower, Skylane 3260 Yankee at the T hangars, ready to taxi for east departure.
Yep, and we have the weather, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You always tell him later.
Skylane 3260 Yankee, Springdale Tower. Good morning, runway 18 taxi via Alpha.
18 taxi via Alpha, and we have the weather.
Good.
Roger.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, if you remember something, or if you say something wrong, you say, oh, correction.
Yeah.
I'm on the west side, not the east side. If you said it wrong,
Yeah.
you can always say correction. Sometimes air traffic controllers will get busy, and in the Army, we used to do this sometimes. We'll have a communication for one person, and then we'll have a communication for another person, and it doesn't matter whether they read it back to us or not. We'll say, like the tower will say, 3260 Yankee, taxi to 18 via Alpha, break, so-and-so, Cessna, whatever, taxi to 18 via Bravo.
Yeah.
And so you don't get a chance to respond back. If they say break, you don't have to answer back. And when you're in the pattern, whenever you're getting ready to land and everything, sometimes they'll extend you, or they'll say, I'll call your base.
Yeah.
Whatever the tower tells you to do, it's usually because of a reason. There's somebody else coming in, or somebody else taking off. There's one person landing.
So if you're in the middle of a takeoff and you hit one of these birds, you just keep going?
It depends. Yeah, if you're going, if you're at takeoff speed already, you could go ahead and just pull the power back and slow down and land again if you'd already taken off. But if you think that it didn't do any damage, you could keep on going. If you notice, like, oh, I just tipped that one, or that one bounced off, but you don't see any damage, you could keep on going. But yeah, you should come back around and land. Even if you were in the air and you hit one, you should land immediately or be prepared to land, because you don't know, it could do more damage than you think.
Have you ever hit one?
Yeah, we hit one out in the practice area one time. It was soaring up underneath us, and it came up and hit the propeller, split in half. Half of it went inside the cowling, and the other half was the wing flapping over the top of the cowling. And this poor student, he's like, what do I do? I was like, I have the flight controls. He's like, okay, you have the flight controls. I said, I'm prepared. If the engine quits right now, or if the propeller breaks off or whatever, we're going to land right here. I was pointing to the place. I was doing the emergency procedures. I was like, but since we're still going, I said, we'll continue to the airport and we'll see if we can make it.
Yeah.
We did. We made it. And I pulled that bird out. It had claws as big as my hand.
Wow.
Yeah. And pulled it out, and it didn't do any damage.
That's
got lucky.
awesome.
Yeah, we got lucky.
That in this one or the 172?
That was in a 172 I had, years ago. It was just like the straight tail. 8142 X-ray was the number. I traded it for a twin Apache up in Michigan, straight across.
Huh.
What a good deal. But actually, it wasn't a good deal because the guy lied. He said he didn't have any ADs on it. He had AD on the props that cost $30 grand. Yeah, he lied. It would have been a good deal. As it was. That's what happens, You gotta have everything checked out. Don't take everybody's word for it.
Springdale Tower, Skyhawk 7602 Golf. We'd like to request a taxi to park.
Skyhawk 02 Golf, taxi to park this frequency.
Okay.
Park this frequency, 02 Golf.
Springdale Tower, Skylane 3260 Yankee, holding short at 18.
Yep.
Skylane 60 Yankee, runway 18 clear for takeoff, left turn out approved.
18 clear for takeoff, 60 Yankee.
Yep. Left turn out in standard, so you don't have to say it back.
So if he did right turn out because he had traffic or something on the left, would we just do kind of like a half pattern and then depart, or just depart when he tells us
if he said right turn out and he knew that we were going to the east, we'd take a right turn, and then midfield we'd cross over the airport and go out to the east.
Okay.
Sometimes that's what you do. You go over midfield and then you turn. Or you turn and then you go over midfield.
Alright, carb heat in.
Yep.
Prop full, mix rich, taxi lights off, and we should be good. Alright, full power.
Yep, whenever you're ready. got it? Yep.
Alright, 60 VR on this one.
Climb out about 90.
And there's 60.
Yep, start to pull back. Speed up to 85 or 90. Okay, over the middle. If the airplane died right now, you just set it back down on the runway. There you go. Yeah, it climbs like a son of a bitch.
Yeah, this
1,500
thing
feet a
does.
minute. Yeah. Woohoo! That's it. Yeah, just keep it at 90 or 85. If you want to climb out at 85, you can pick an airspeed. It's called a constant speed climb.
That's a different angle than the 172.
Yeah, you can feel this one. You're like a rocket. We're pulling G's.
And so we're at 1900.
Yeah, go ahead and start your left turn out. You bet. Yep. And you can pull the power back a little bit to the top of the green arc, like 23 inches. There you go. That's good. Yeah. And then dial back your prop a little bit to the top of the green arc. Yep. And then keep flying to a heading of 90 degrees. Top of the green arc, like 23 or 24. There you go. That's still got a lot of climb power at 2,400 RPM. Okay. Yeah, that's what you want. Top of the green when you're climbing, and then bottom of the green when you get to the cruise. That's like changing gears into second gear. If you want to, go ahead and put your Foggles on. I'll take the flight controls.
Right, you have the controls?
I have the flight controls. I'm going to use that trim. Take the pressure off.
Skylane 60 Yankee, frequency change approved.
60 Yankee.
That's hard with the sun now, right?
Yeah, we won't stay on east for long. I won't make you do that. And we'll even give you a little this. How's that?
There you go.
That's that blocking you from seeing the panel?
Yep.
Okay. Fly heading of 90.
Alright, we'll go 90. And what are we climbing to?
3,500.
3,500.
Yeah, there's no clouds today, so we go up to 3,500 and 90.
Alpha, 02 Golf.
Yep. Good.
And Cessna 02 Golf, did you have the latest weather?
Do you have the weather? He asks everybody, so you might as well tell him you got it. He can let you go until you. I got it. Yeah.
A6 Tower.
Yes, sir. I got a bunch of geese down here by the shop. I'm fixing to put in there.
Yep.
A6, Roger.
We saw them. They flock of geese. Or a gaggle. Yeah, that's a whole gaggle of geese.
That's good that he says that on the frequency that I'm going to put them in the air.
Yeah, if somebody's taking off, you'll see them. You don't want to take off right whenever they're trying to get airborne and go somewhere. Hopefully, they'll come out here to the lake or something and get away from the airport. But yeah, a lot of times they come down there. I don't know what they're eating down there, but they land and they walk around on that edge. I see them all the time. Yep. Keep it on 90 and you got a good climb rate going. So you're scanning your instruments. In the event that you fly into the clouds and you can't see outside and you get disoriented, always trust your instruments.
Yeah.
That's the key. We teach that, and you get 40 hours by the time you get your instrument rating. You really learn to rely on your instruments.
Yeah.
Forget about what your inner ear tells you because you'll get disoriented.
So I was reading and
Appreciate that.
looking at this stuff yesterday.
Yep.
This heading, is that GPS? Or
Yeah, that's GPS. That's already correcting for the wind. That's actually the track of what you're flying over the ground.
And this is the course, and that's the track?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they should agree with each other, but they're off a degree, it looks like. One's 87, one's 88, or one was. Now they're the same. They could be off a degree.
Yeah, somebody was telling me that you shouldn't trust that one. That's not a primary...
Heading indicator?
Yeah, yeah.
It's the attitude indicator. Yeah, that's the heading indicator over there. That's what they call it.
But in the 172, that's all we have.
That's right. Yep. And it says track above it on the 172. In this one, it doesn't. There's a couple of differences because this one's set up with 2 and we just have 1. Ours has the turn coordinator, so it shows you what a standard rate turn is? It looks like a little triangle or two triangles on top.
Yep.
And this one doesn't. So you have to use this turn coordinator to use the wing level with one of those bars for a 3 degree per second turn. I always just said it was like 10 or 15 degrees, maybe 15 degrees or 12 and a half. So when we get to 3,500, you go all the way up to 3,500. If you're descending to 3,000, you come down to like 3,100 and you start to level off, or 3,050 and you start to level off, because it'll continue coming down while you're leveling. But when you're climbing, you got to go all the way up to the number.
Okay.
Yep. They even used to get up 100 feet above it, and once you got your cruise configuration set up, they'd lose that 100 feet, and it would gain a little extra airspeed. They called it getting on the step. So you come down 100 feet, it gives you an extra 5 miles an hour or 2 miles an hour.
Yeah, this wind's aloft. That's exactly what it said in ForeFlight. That's crazy how they know what it is.
Yesterday we had a 40 knot. Wow. Today it's 20. It's not as bad, but yesterday it was really windy. It wasn't bumpy though. It was not turbulent. It was smooth air, going 40 miles an hour. Sometimes it's a headwind, sometimes it's tailwind.
Yeah, I was looking at the track and we were going 150 miles an hour with it, and like 80 without it.
Yeah. Those poor 172s really get beat up in a headwind. A 40 mile an hour headwind slows you down to about 60. And cars are passing you on the highway. You know, people go, oh man, we're going so slow. We'll never get there. Not too much on the mixture. At 3,000 feet, it should be about a finger. That looks like about 6,000 feet. Okay. So we're going to push that back in a little bit. We're going to dial it back until you notice an increase in RPMs, and then it increased.
Yep.
And then it decreased. I think that's it, right about maybe there. Push it in a little bit.
02 Golf, runway 18 cleared for takeoff.
Yeah, okay, let's pull it out. Maybe you're closer than I was.
Takeoff, left traffic, 02 Golf.
Yeah, I'll wait till you get level again. You're climbing a little bit. There you go. Now that is it. Pulled it back too far. Or if you notice it's sounding rough and sputtering or backfiring, yeah, push it back in because you've leaned it out too far.
Yep.
If you notice it gets too hot or something, yeah, just richen it a little bit. As you lean it out, it gets hotter. When you richen it, it gets colder. Pull the power back a little bit more. Let's slow it down to 19 or whatever. Yep.
It's touchy.
It does. Yeah, that one doesn't have the graduation or the screw type, so you can dial it in. You just pull that one out.
A6 tower, proceed north.
And then we would close the cow flaps when you get into cruise. Yep. If you wanted to, you could dial this back to the bottom of the green. We're still like halfway between first and second gear. Dial it back to 2200. There you go. 2022 is a good cruise. It saves fuel. We're down to 10 gallons an hour, or 11. Yeah, almost 11. Okay, let's turn to the north a little bit. I'll just get you warmed up, and then I'm going to do the unusual attitude, which means I'm going to have you close your eyes, put your head down, your chin down in your chest, and then I'm going to put the airplane in an unusual attitude and then ask you to recover. You'll look up at the instruments just like you would if you were to fly into the cloud, and you go, oh man, I feel funny. Let's see what's going on with the instruments. Is the airspeed increasing or decreasing? Is the heading changing? You know, is your altitude changing? From that, just glancing at it, you could say, okay, the airplane's in a dive, or it's in a climb, it's in a bank to the left, and I need to slow down because we're speeding up. So you can start to pull back a little bit and pull the power out if you're nose down and you're increasing in airspeed, especially if you're getting up into the yellow range. Caution means you can't yank and bank. Any major increase or decrease in your pitch or your bank, it could cause structural damage to the airplane. They say don't yank and bank. That's what I say. But really, it's no abrupt maneuver. You can't really pull back on it or turn. And when you get up to the red line at the top up there, about 180 or 200 miles an hour, whatever, you'll see a little red line. That's when the wings rip off. Never go that fast.
Yep.
You'll definitely do some damage.
The first thing you look at is blue over.
Yeah, Look at the attitude. That's the first one. And then either go out and wagon wheel spokes or go around the circle. Yep. Check the airspeed first. You can tell if you need to pull the power out because you're increasing the airspeed and start to pull up on it. And then you can tell if you're banking. You can level the wings.
Yeah. Okay.
That's basically all it is. Yeah. You got to do it kind of quick though. You got to abruptly or quickly say, I'm in a dive. I've got to pull the power out and pull the nose up, or I'm stalling. I've got to push the nose over and add power. Yeah. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I'll take the flight controls. Go ahead and put your head down in your chest.
Cessna 02 Golf, base turn your discretion, runway 18 cleared for the option.
18 cleared option, base at my discretion, 02 Golf.
Okay, you have the flight controls?
I have the controls.
Yeah. Yep, check the power. Airspeed's good. You want to level off. You don't want to lose any altitude. Once you wake up and you say, oh, I'm in a dive, you just level it off. Yep.
Okay.
Pull the power back a little bit, and that's it. That was an easy one. All you had to do was level it. It was pretty much climbing until you got it, and then it started leveling off by itself. All right, let's do it again.
All right.
I have the flight controls. Okay, you have the flight controls.
I have the controls. I feel it.
Okay, should have pulled the power back.
Okay.
Right. Notice the airspeed's quite a bit higher. It's still safe though. We didn't even get close to the yellow. But that was the first thing you do is level it off and pull the power if you're in a dive. If you're going to climb, you add power, and still you're going to level it off.
146 on form. I apologize.
Yep, put it back up in the green, say about 20 inches or 19. That's a good power setting for cruise. Okay. All right, I have the flight controls.
You have the controls?
All right. Okay, you have the flight controls.
I have the controls. Alright.
Add power, add power. That was it. Whenever you see the low airspeed,
Yep.
Add power if you need it. And did you notice the trim is really high? So you want to adjust that trim back. That's why we're climbing. Yep. Yep, pull power back to the green.
Okay.
Adjust that trim where you want it, where it flies straight. That's it, that's the end of the maneuver.
Dog 02 Golf, right turn Alpha 4, runway 18 taxi via Alpha.
So, blue over brown, speed, and then altitude.
Yep.
Okay. So level.
And if we wanted to turn the autopilot off, we'd go over here. And this thing, it was trying to turn the autopilot on because of the overbanking and about to stall. So I had to reach over here and turn it off whenever it started to turn itself on. Alright, you still have the flight controls. Let's go back up to 3,500 and fly heading up north. We'll just do some turns. Do you feel disoriented now?
Yeah, I have no idea where I'm at.
Right.
And while you were doing that, my ear was left to
you don't know.
Yeah.
One of the things that the guy did up there for some of the past people that were doing exams were, just a shallow turn or a standard rate, or, let's see, he would have them close their eyes and fly the airplane and say, level the airplane. Tell me when you think you've got it level. And the student would, he had no clue.
Yeah.
He said, okay, I think that's level. That'd be in a turn, didn't know it, you know. He said, okay, open your eyes.
Yeah, that really shows you.
You don't understand how mad it is until you try to do it without being able to see the ground. Can't do it. We're so used to flying, looking to the ground now. We know that it's there in the background. Everywhere we go, with your VFR, you can see the visual.
Yeah.
You see everything. But you get in a cloud, you don't know what to do. So you just turn around and you go back out, or you climb up over it. If it's a thin cloud, you could go below it or above it, or turn around and go back out of it. If it's a lot bigger, you can't climb out of it very easily. And you don't want to overbank or you'll get disoriented. That's the main thing why you want to do 3 degrees per second is your mind doesn't consider yourself into a turn.
Yeah.
It feels kind of normal. I think I'm in a turn, but I can't tell.
A6 cross runway 18 at Bravo 3, hold short of Alpha.
Yep, level off at 35 and keep flying, heading them north.
A6, give way to the Cessna and then proceed south on Alpha.
Yep. Before you bust on your heading, you started correcting for it. That's good. You got to catch it before it gets outside 10 degrees either way.
How long does he make you have the foggles on?
Just a few minutes.
Yeah.
Just the whole thing. The whole test like it lasts about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Maybe 5 or 10 minutes. He'll have you plan a trip to St. August or something, Missouri. It's called Rosecrans Airport. And once you take off, you'll get to your first checkpoint. You'll say, okay, here's my landmark. It's this tower or this airport. I think I can see it. As we get close to it, I'll say that we're on course. And then he'll say, okay, we're not going to go to St. August anymore. I want you to do slow flight or stalls or steep turns. Yeah, the whole thing only lasts about an hour and a half in the air. But it also has the oral part, and depending on how many questions you miss on the written test, he may keep you for 3 or 4 hours. It should only take an hour and a half, but a couple of guys told me that they were up there for like 3 or 4 hours.
Wow.
Before they got to fly.
They do it in Bentonville, or?
No, there's a place up in Missouri called Gimlin. It's an airport, like an air park. People have houses there. There's some hangars there, and the guy owns a house and a hangar there. Brian Morgan. He's the designated pilot examiner. Yep. Getting disoriented?
Yeah, I was just...
That's okay.
Yeah.
Peek out a little bit if you need to. Look at the ground on the side over there.
Yeah.
When you turn your head, they know you're looking.
Okay.
Yeah, just peek out a little bit. So you're looking at the instrument, but you can peek out a little bit on the window on your side, and you'll be able to see the ground and get oriented again.
Yeah.
Say, oh yeah, that's upside. That's right side up. Yeah, we are passing the dam on your side. Eureka Springs is over on the right. There's Lake Leatherwood.
Center left traffic runway.
Holiday Island. So if you want to, let's turn left and let's go down to 3,500 and a heading of 270.
270, you
Yep.
said 3,500?
No, 3,000.
Okay, 3,000.
Yep. And a heading of 270. So pull the power back and start your descent. Simultaneously, you're doing a turn and your descent. About 500 feet per minute. There you go. It's going to be a shallow turn. Don't bank over that little line. That's your 3 degrees per second. And you'll wind up getting to your heading, and then you'll keep your descent going. Keep your descent going. You're not descending. Yeah. A lot of people do get to their heading, and they'll stop, and then they'll do their descent. But they want you to do both of them together to show that you can control both your heading and altitude. We're going down to 3,000, right? And then once you get to 3,000, as long as you're 10 degrees left or right of 270 and you stop at plus or minus 100 feet, you pass. If you start to roll out too early, or if you start to get to your altitude too early and you're leveling off, go ahead and start back down or start to turn again. Keep going. As long as you don't stop, you can always increase or decrease your rate. Yep, you can level off anywhere in here, and that's a pass. Yep. They may have you fly heading or turn or do an altitude change, either 500 feet per minute descent or like 90 miles an hour climb. Yeah, let's stop your descent. You don't want to go below 2,900 or that's a bust. Yep. That's the end of the maneuver.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. If you want to, go ahead and turn to the south or 180 and do a standard rate turn, 3 degrees per second.
3 degrees, 180.
Yep. Hold your altitude at 3,000. Oh, go back up. Yep. Yeah, gotta watch that altitude. Once you get down there and they say 3,000, you gotta keep it at 3,000 until he changes it.
Okay.
Yep. Looks good. Yep. Going to 180. Yeah. Good. Hold your altitude at 3,000.
There we go.
Yep. Yeah, some people just focus on their heading. They're like, oh man, I gotta watch that heading, and then they lose their altitude. Or, if you notice that you're not looking at the altitude, say, I gotta increase my scan rate, or I've gotta include that in my scan because I keep forgetting it. Just like your heading, say, I gotta increase my scan rate because my heading's getting off by 10 degrees almost.
Yeah.
Just takes doing that once.
What's this little purple? Is that true north? Or no, that's not true north. What is it?
No, I think that's your heading bug. If you were to tell it to go to Springdale, that would line up with it and tell you if you're left of course or right of course.
I gotcha.
Yep. There it is. So if we were to fly heading of 226, we're right on that course.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. 226. And we're 19 miles from the airport. 16 miles. Oh, 19 miles from something. Oh, 16 nautical miles is 19 statute miles. Yeah, that's the difference. You got to remember if you're going nautical or statute. We're doing 98 knots, ground speed. We've got a headwind of 19. Yeah.
Tower 02 Golf.
This shows about 13 or 12.
Cessna 02 Golf, runway 18 cleared for the option.
18 cleared option 02 Golf.
I think that's the same guy that soloed. Sounded like.
There's no traffic out here.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, if you wanted to fly that course, or if you wanted to fly back to the airport, you could say flight plan, Springdale, direct to, it redraws the line, and then you can say autopilot on and navigate, and the autopilot's flying now. If you want to hold this altitude, you just press the altitude button, or you can dial it into whatever you want, 3,200 if you want to go up, or if you want to go down to 2,500. I usually use the vertical speed to come down, and I tell it how many feet per minute, like 500 feet per minute, it does it for you. It's going to fly to Springdale and go down to 3,000 or 2,500, since we told it 2,500, yeah. Yeah, your heading bed lines up over there. Yep,
nice.
Yep.
Well, then you don't get to fly anymore.
Yeah, yeah, you're not getting that hands-on muscle memory. You're automatically getting used to that. Every time you've got your hand on the yoke, and so we used to say this is cheating.
Yeah.
All you have to do is adjust the power when you've got autopilot. You say power to climb and decrease power when you're descending. Yep. If you start going too fast, you pull a little bit of power out. And then whenever you want, just disconnect it there, and you can hand fly it back to the airport.
Okay.
Yeah, follow that magenta line. 233 is your bearing.
525 Bravo Tango.
Yep, now you're flying it, and if you want to turn the flight director off, you can, or you can leave it on. It does the same thing. You can fly it and try and keep it in between those magenta lines, just like the autopilot does.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cessna 525 Bravo Tango.
Yeah, the autopilot is really nice, and if you want to turn the flight director off, you just click that bottom button there, and it makes the magenta line disappear, or those two lineups.
3004.
And the yellow line is my heading?
Yep, that's
Okay.
yours.
Okay.
Whenever you're above the horizon or below the horizon, or you're banking. Now we're at 2,500, so you're going to level off.
I like this a lot. The electronic displays are much more precise.
I know, I love it. You can get the numbers instead of looking at a dial, and you can get different angles on the dial where it says different things. You go, well, it says this to me, well, over here it looks like you're in the green.
Yeah.
Like, no, it looks like it's in the yellow. Yeah, level off at 2,500. And we're 12 miles from Springdale. You can call him up when we get 10 miles out and say we're 10 miles northeast, inbound with the weather.
Springdale Municipal Airport.
Automated weather observation 1241 Zulu. Wind 150 at 4 knots. Visibility more than 10. Sky condition.
Yeah, 4 mile an hour down there, 26 up here.
Yeah.
25 Celsius. Dew point 23 Celsius. Altimeter 30.
I think you noticed that yesterday. Yeah.
Density altitude 310.
It was 4 on the ground and 40 up here. Yesterday you said that. I was like, yep.
Yeah.
You never know. You
Yeah,
said,
and right above us at like 8,000 feet, it's like 2.
oh really?
Yeah.
See, you never know. Usually though, if I'm going west and I've got a headwind, I'll pick the lowest altitude, closest to the ground, because it slows down when it hits the surface. It'll slow it down.
Yeah.
And but sometimes you find a higher altitude that's in your direction or your favor, and you go, oh man, if we just climb up to 8,000, you know, we'll make better time.
Yeah.
And then you do it. Pick the airport that's closest to where you are, that has weather, and say, what's the winds aloft?
And so the 172, what do you normally, if you're going to do a long distance in that, what do you normally do that at? 7,000?
Yeah, it depends on how far you're going. If you're going from Springdale to Russellville or Springdale to Harrison, Springdale to Russellville, I might go up to 5,000.
Okay.
Springdale to Harrison, 3,000, 20.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's only 50 miles.
Yeah, you don't want to get up and then go right back down.
Yeah, some of those airlines do that. They just, as soon as they get to their altitude, they're so close they have to come back down again. You're like, okay, why do they even bother? You can call him up, tell him you're 10 miles.
Springdale Tower, Skylane 3260 Yankee, 10 miles east with the weather.
Skylane 3260 Yankee, Springdale Tower, enter left base runway 18, report 3 miles east of the airport.
Report 3 miles east for runway 183260 Yankee.
Okay, good. Yeah, it gets faster. You get, you know, a little quicker on it after you do it a few times. But yeah, you're kind of slowly processing the information. Later on, it comes a lot quicker. Get that radio DJ voice, that swagger in your voice. Yeah. So now we're going to go just a little bit to the right. I'd say about 20 degrees.
Okay.
Try and fly 250. That's going to set us up on the left base for 18. Instead of flying to the airport, you know, you got to turn a little bit early to get it lined up. Now we're coming up on Hickory Creek.
We have, so this circle is 3 miles?
Yep, 3 miles. It changes as you scroll in and scroll out because it's touch screen. Now it's 5 miles.
So we've got one about 4 miles.
Yep, one guy's 2,000 feet above us, another one's in the pattern at 1,000 feet below us.
Yeah. Looks like he's about to land.
Oh yeah, he's landing. Yeah, he's on the runway just about. Yep. Yep, he's ahead of us.
Yeah, I'm going to do my IFR after this.
Good.
And
you can start as soon as you get your private pilot license, and it could save your life getting your instrument rating.
that's what I want to do it.
Yep.
But I don't
wish
think it's very
everybody did.
fun. It's not near as fun as VFR.
Yeah, yeah. You get a lot more options having that IFR license or rating because you could take off whenever the weather's not ideal.
Bravo Tango taxi to park this frequency.
Stay with you, 5 Bravo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the guys going to Omaha this morning, like I'm sure they don't need IFR, but it's helpful to have it just in case.
Yeah. Somewhere along the way, it may be a big storm or something, and you got to know whether it's okay to go through it. If it's got lightning and thunderstorms, I go around it. I stay 20 miles away from it. But if it's just rain, I don't mind. I'll go through it. But if the visibility drops to 0 or less than 3 miles, then it's no longer BFR. They could cite you for breaking the rule.
Yeah.
Yep. So, you know, pilots do it all the time. They say, oh, I saw a hole in the clouds, you know. Yeah. I'm just going to go down a little bit and see what's underneath it. I know what's supposed to be underneath it. But that's how people wind up running into a mountain. They go down through the clouds and don't realize there's a hill there they can't see. There was a guy last year that died down in Marksville, flying a 182 back from Texas. Yeah, let's hold our altitude at 2,500 or even go down to 24 if we're getting close to the pattern. We're about 5 miles out, or 6 even. There's no traffic that we know of, unless they don't have ADS-B.
Do I start, when do I start my checklist and go rich?
As you're coming down, you want to rich in the mixture, and you can change your prop to the top of the green whenever you get ready.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep, you do that power management all the time. Yep, either climbing or descending. Yep. Hold your altitude about 2,400. If we were on the instrument approach, they've got a minimum altitude until you get past that hill. Or if you're coming in, you'd be coming in from the north on the right side of the hill. And that's the caution, is you don't want to run into the terrain.
Yeah, those towers, yeah.
Yep, they call it FIT, or CFIT, Controlled Flight into Terrain. Yep. If you didn't have a sensitive instrument, you could wander off to the left and run into those antennas or that hillside.
Well, I can't see any
Yep,
antennas.
if you want to go ahead and take the Foggles off now.
Okay.
Yep. We're at 4 miles out, I think. Yep. And then we're just going to turn a little bit to the right and then final.
Alright.
And you can call him anytime you want. Tell him you're 4 miles out or 3 miles out. We're the only ones.
Springdale Tower, Skylane 3260 Yankee, 3 miles, turning left base.
Skylane 60 Yankee, runway 18, cleared to land.
18, cleared to land, 60 Yankee.
There you go. Getting easier, isn't it?
It is.
It is. Yeah, you got the same things. You say the same things at every airport. You just change the name of the airport and your call sign for the airplane may change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roger, got that vehicle on site. Once the takeoff, please.
Alright, so seatbelt secure, fuel on both.
Yep.
Mixture rich, carb heat out.
Okay.
And prop
Landing
full.
lights on.
Landing lights on.
Yep.
And prop full.
You can slowly push it into full. Yep.
Even if you go out of the green here? Or?
Yeah, I try to keep it in the green. I never go all the way full, but you can. Yeah, when you're getting close to the ground or close to sea level, it'd be full.
Alright, we got a 400 feet per minute descent.
Good. Yep.
Now we start.
And we're almost at the flap operating range. We're close. All you gotta do is just pull the power back a little bit or pull the nose up and you can put in the flaps. So yeah, gas on both, mixture rich, carburetor, landing lights on, flaps and power as desired.
I feel like I should be going faster.
Nope, I come in at 90 on final. Yeah, and then when I get close, I put in the flaps, I slow it down to 80 when I'm crossing the runway and touch down at 70.
This is still saying we have a 30-mile-an-hour headwind.
It'll change.
Okay.
Yeah, it changes. We're changing heading here, so it's going to change.
Alright, so yeah, we're low.
Echo Papa, Red Taxi with the information coming out of the terminal.
Cessna 02 Golf, you're number 2 following a Cessna.
Yeah, so hold your altitude. Don't descend. Just hold it 0 until you get 2 white lights, and then start your descent back at 500 feet per minute.
No flaps until white lights.
We got the weather trying to see.
I would do it till I get 2 white lights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold your altitude here. You're still descending. Hold your altitude. There you go. Now you notice that magenta line's gone. Now we're climbing just a little bit, so we're going to push your nose over. There's one. Yep. And then when you see the other one, then you start down about 500 feet per minute. I went ahead and started back down a little bit. But we can hold it. You can hold it even at 400. We're just a little bit low.
Runway 18 cleared for
Keep your airspeed up around 90. You're good. If you want to put the flaps in, you can.
Following the Cessna.
I felt it come up there.
There's 10. Now you got your 2 white lights. As you're putting the flaps in, push the nose down a little bit. There's 30. That's all you need.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it. Cross the fence at 80, touch down at 70 with the nose high. You want the main 2 wheels to land first. If you land on the nose wheel first and you're going too fast, you'll bounce and it'll balloon on you.
Yeah.
That's what I call it, ballooning or floating. You'll float down the runway. It's never good on the landing gear. Yeah. So that's why we always say land on the main gear first. They're really supported by stiff legs.
Yep.
And the nose wheel's got that shock absorber.
Alright, fence
And the
at
shimmy
80.
dampener. Yep. Yep. You're going to round out and fly parallel to the ground. As you're slowing down, you start to pull back a little bit on it. Hold it off. Yep, just hold it off there and land on the back two wheels first. Good. Yeah, that's it. And you could have held that back a little bit more even.
Okay.
And if you practice the grass field landings, you hold it off as long as you can. You might even hear the stall horn.
We'll be ready at the end.
They say that's perfect if you hear the stall horn when you're touching down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And November 2 Echo Papa Roger, hold short of the runway traffic on final.
Okay, we'll hold short, 522 Echo Papa.
Yeah.
Skylane 60 Yankee, taxi to park this frequency.
Taxi to park, stay with you, 60 Yankee.
Good.
Single Tower, Skyhawk 7602 Golf. We're going to make this a full stop landing. Park.
Cessna 02 Golf, Roger.
Yeah, we're good. Keep taxiing. Once you cross the double yellow line, then you can clean up the aircraft. Put the flaps up, the carburetor heat cold, and the landing lights off.
Alright, flaps up. Do you just hold it?
Yep, just hold it until it goes all the way up to 0. A little bit more. There you go. That's it. Landing
Carb
lights
heat.
and the carb heat. Oh, there's carb heat. Yep. And you could lean it out a little bit for taxiing. I
Yep.
think that's what you were
Yep.
doing,
Yep.
but you said carb heat. Yep. That's okay. It's all the same except for that blue handle and the flaps.
Yep.
Cow flaps. And the GPS now to fly. There's a lot of stuff different. But it basically flies the same as the 172. It's just got more horsepower and more electronics. It's all technically advanced aircraft, which is a thing they're asking for now when you get your commercial license. Do you have 10 hours of technically advanced aircraft? Used to be it was complex. You had to have variable pitch propeller, flaps, and retractable gear. But now they're saying you don't have to because Cirruses came out and they don't have retractable gear. Everything's technically advanced.
And technically advanced is just GPS with autopilot?
GPS, the GPS in the dash and the G-Vibe. Instead of having the vacuum system, you've got electric gyroscopes. And the engine monitor has to be electronic. Yeah. We don't have to put it up. I've got another guy coming after us. Yeah, he should be here any minute.
November 522 Echo Papa, change your departure instructions. Fly runway heading. Maintain 4000, runway 18 clear for takeoff.
We're heading 4000, clear to go, 522 Echo Papa.
Alright, so...
Mixture.
Sure.
Wet all the way out till it dies. Magnetos and master. There you go.